Deep within a bleak and dismal swamp, hidden beneath its murky waters, lies the headquarters of the most sinister villains of all time. The Legion of Doom.
Why is the audio still playing?
Just for
we
you,
can't
bud.
hear it though.
Yeah,
Sounds good, huh?
It's only for you.
Hey! Welcome back to the Brave and the Boys with some special guests today.
Hello.
The
I'm,
most
I'm
special.
Tom. This is Ryan.
I'm Ryan. This is Tom.
We got Comic Tom, Fire Guy Ryan, and then Brave Boy Jake's figuring out his audio. It's not a Brave and the Boys live stream without some technical difficulties ever.
Every time,
Okay, I
that's
think-
how it works.
Yeah.
I think it's
Oh,
working
yeah.
now. Sorry, I was getting the weird delay.
Yo, it happens, yo. We've been there. We've been there. And we really appreciate your time today because we made a comic and was very excited to see you wanted to chat a little bit about that.
Oh, dude, we're excited. So our channel, we've done like content creator on YouTube videos for interviews for a while, but we've always dreamed about getting actual comic book writers. So we're very excited that you guys are our first official comic book writers.
Oh my goodness.
Comic book writers.
That's great. Well,
Yeah.
technically once it's released, but
Yeah.
we do have a
still
4-page
doesn't feel
ash
real.
can, so that technically means we've been published.
Yeah. But we're not writers, you know. We just wrote a thing. We're not like
We wrote a thing.
real writers.
It's like we wrote a thing, but we're not writers.
Yeah.
Make
Dude,
that make
that's-
sense, Ryan.
I'll try.
That's me with YouTube still. Like, I make YouTube videos, but I'm not a YouTuber. It's just a thing that I do.
It's true.
That
Yeah.
makes you a YouTuber, dude.
No. Well,
And
then
that
it makes you guys
a
writers.
writer.
Yeah.
Tom doesn't like it when you
I
call him
think
an
we're writers.
influencer either. So there's some sort of symbiosis there too.
Oh,
I guess.
I'm not an influencer.
You
There's
say
no
that,
influence
but you
that
never
I'm
know.
giving.
It creeps up on you apparently.
Yeah.
I think now that we have a discount code for organic price books that I just try to weave awkwardly into every conversation now, I feel like an influencer, just shamelessly plugging my discount code.
It's good,
Yeah.
man. People gotta like get those
Um,
discounts, get some
Awesome,
comics
guys.
in.
Well, okay. So our first question is very important. I've been wondering this for a while. This question comes from Jim Mint. He wants to
Uh-oh.
know, how is your cat's tail? Is everything good with your cat's tail?
Oh, my cat's tail is strong.
Smells kind of weird though at the bottom of it.
Yeah.
He said
Yeah,
there was a
smells
problem
up
with the
there.
base of the tail.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
He
So,
knows.
I've been worried because I'm a cat owner also.
yeah, they do this. It's got to be explained, I guess. So Jem and I have a very fun relationship. He's a prankster, so that's definitely something we bond over because I love pranks, especially like old YouTube pranksters like Ed Bassmaster and Jack Vale and Roman Atwood, like the OGs and stuff.
Mhm.
But when he comes up, he has a couple jokes, right? He has a couple jokes that he does often, and that would be one of the jokes I did. I told him, and I feel like if he tells a joke that I've said to somebody, then I
He's
should
better
be
at telling
allowed
it than you are too. He's got a better delivery.
at telling jokes.
Dude, we tried to work one
Yeah.
into the issue. You remember that?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, hey, if he shared a joke that I've said, I should be able to share a joke that he's done, right?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, and I can
think
blame it
that's
on you,
fair.
Ryan. Okay, so one of the jokes I did was about my cat. And I'm like, dude, I can't even do it. You should try it.
It's
You-
funny.
It's funny, but
I
like,
suck at
I
jokes.
have
You're
to
worse
be-
than Jem,
Oh,
but
I
I'm
don't-
worst of all.
I don't typically do jokes on the mic like that,
Exactly.
you know. But I'm
You
like,
should do it
here,
in
should
your
we
I'll
special
try.
Like you, so
occasion.
I'll
we
try.
only see you, make it worse.
I'll try.
Yeah.
I'll
Oh,
try to
zoom
do
it in.
Okay. So like, let's say okay. It's better if I have like a person here. So like Ryan
boy.
is here, right? So you're petting my cat. My cat's awesome.
I am
Everyone
always
loves
petting
my
it.
cat.
I don't know where he is, but
He'll be here soon, man.
will.
Comic Butch always loves to join he's
He
part of the
shows up.
crew. He's part of the crew. So I'll be like, they're loving my cat. Like, dang, he's such a good cat. I'm like, yeah, dude, I know. He's the best. He's a member of the show. A little worried about him though. Like things about his tail. Like right at the base of his tail, man. It's just like it smells like poo.
it's so stupid, but it works.
But yo,
That joke was
works.
worth
this
it.
guy
Uh,
is like we have this juvenile, elementary school humor when we're together because we're always riffing and doing content stuff. But yo, no. What's really funny, and he's done this to many people, so this isn't the only thing. This dude will rip a fart. This is what he'll do. He'll rip
in
a fart,
public
and he'll
or
be like,
anywhere.
and he'll just be like, "The hell was that?" Like every single time without fail, like, fart happens, and he'll go, "Dude, there's something wrong with this table, dude." Like he'll blame it on someone else. So there we go. It's a tip for tat, Jem. I love you, brother.
Yeah.
Great delivery, by the
Awesome.
way.
I'm trying now. You put me on the spot, but that was Gem Mint's fault.
Yeah, 100%. Let's blame him.
Heck
He
yeah.
almost put it in the comic, dude.
tried.
We wrote a whole scene, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna steal his joke. But
Someone's
I thought
gonna
it'd be
fart
funny.
in the book, and yeah, we just say, "What the hell was that?" Did you guys see that? But it could actually be a
Why
monster.
do
in
I-
our
Fell on
case,
the editing-
Why do
editing
I want to
room
see
floor.
Ben's art for that joke? Now I want to see
Oh,
Ben's
man.
art for that joke.
Same.
Well, you just gotta keep your subscription to Crashdown going. You never know. It may rope it in, and you'll be the first to. You'll remember that it was here. That was.
We had the scoop.
Yeah,
the fart
these behind the
joke.
scenes.
Yeah, that's what Crashdown's about, man.
Which
We are
let's-
real writers, you know.
There's a lot of poop jokes in Crashdown.
Yes.
Apparently, Ryan loves poop. That's a thing.
do.
You make a lot of jokes about poop.
I do, but I also take it very seriously.
Oh, you do, and it makes me concerned.
That's fine.
Oh,
Don't
But
judge.
you know, I don't know, man. But like ever since day one, man, you always like everything ends up being a poop joke.
Yeah, it's because it's funny. Poop's funny.
But poop's easy, man. Poop's easy. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
Anyways,
I
multiple
like
cat
Buckmaster's
buttholes.
comment. That's the kind of joke that
Yeah.
Ben would have loved. He's seen him draw multiple cat buttholes.
that's true. That is true.
Ben does have that same kind of sense of humor too.
But he doesn't like drawing cats, is the thing. So this would be
No.
definitely a situation of Jem's joke being done. We'd have to convince Ben a little bit to draw the cats. We'll see what we can do.
So this is our first 4-person podcast, or
Okay.
interview, I should say. We've never had this many people on stream previously. So congratulations on being the first of something for here on the Brave and the Boys, because everything's new to us still.
Oh, that's really cool.
It's
Yeah.
usually
Well, look at,
easier when we outnumber
look
them.
at these omnis, yo. Your omni background looks fantastic.
Yeah,
Oh,
that one
thank
he
you.
got
Both of
his. Jake's is significantly better. Mine's like way in the distance.
Hell yeah.
Jordan's
Mine's
better
too
at saving
close.
money. Yeah. I got to see Ryan's bookshelf today though. He sent me an Instagram of it.
Oh yeah, I did send you a little picture of that this morning.
I like to make fun of Jem
Yes.
and say that his background is a green screen. I'm like, oh man, the green screen's working great today whenever he's doing lives or something.
I'm sure that's one of the default settings on
I'm
the
like,
green
dude,
screen program.
I'll just send him a message be like, dude, that statue, man, your Photoshop skills are really good. It looks like it's actually there.
The first Whatnot that I watched, because I'm not super into the Whatnot, but I thought it was kind of fun. I've done a couple of the shows a couple times, but one of his books, his Omnis in the background had fallen over, and it just like drove me like wild. So literally, everyone in my Whatnot comments were like, "Can you fix the book in the background?" And then finally, I got to see him
Yeah.
bust out that little library and ladder that he has.
Here's a little Brave and the Boys background. Jake's bookshelves drives me fucking insane because 2 out of 7 times, no, I'm exaggerating, it's significantly more, 1 or 2 of his books is pushed out of the shelf. And it's in the video, and I'm surprised no one has ever commented or seen that.
Oh,
Yeah,
do we
it's
have
like-
a cat?
He's here. Yeah, we got Comic Butch in the house. He heard us talking about him. He smells great, just so everyone knows.
We checked.
We checked.
Even at the base of the tail.
Ryan likes to check that. Oh, Butch, he's gonna get embarrassed. We gotta change the subject.
Yeah, Butch
Right.
is gonna get embarrassed.
But thank you for having us on. This is great.
So
You got-
one of
you got
our
out
first
some-
questions we like to one of our first questions that we like to ask is what first drew you guys to the world of comics? Was there a character or a book or something that really made your love of comics take hold?
What about you, Ryan?
Yeah, you had your dad basically throw you in the
He
deep end.
ran
of
a comic
books
book
from
shop, right?
childhood. Yeah,
Yeah, he managed a comic store growing up at one point, but like even years before that, he was very much involved in like the science fiction community and folk music, which is like it's like a genre of almost like folk music, but
What'd
more
you call it?
nerdy. Filk.
Filk.
Filk. Filk. That's what you would.
Filk.
Yeah, we'd go to these things called Filk conventions, and we'd also go
That
to
sounds
sci-fi
dirty.
conventions.
Yeah, it sounds sketchy
Ah.
as hell.
Nah, it's really cool.
Like,
It's
I feel like
um,
I need someone to buy me dinner first to go to a Filk convention with them, you know?
yeah, honestly, some people that's actually what you need to do.
Usually dinner's
but-
involved, I would imagine.
Yeah, actually, there's a lot of food involved, but like it's a similar thing to like any other convention, but this is before there was like San Diego pop in the way it is. It's like, we go to hotels for 3 days, and a bunch of people would be there, and it's mostly music focused. So a lot of concerts and groups that get together to sing together, and anybody who there'd be people who are like professional, like musically trained individuals, but then on the other end, people who just like wrote a song and they've been playing guitar for a day, you know, and you sat through, you listened to all of it, you love it all, and a lot of drinking and a lot of having fun. But I did a lot of that, and then also science fiction conventions, you know, dressing up as Data and a hobbit and a thief one year, you know, at a sci-fi convention. So, you know, like little 7, 8, 9-year-old me just like running around and having fun with a bunch of nerds. And comics were just all throughout that, because my dad was in this like it's called filk music, but like also he would be considered part of the group that is known as like the first geek rock band. It's called Ookla the Mock. And you can check them out on Spotify, but the songs that they would sing, and he's the drummer, by the way, so they would kind of introduce more of like a punk vibe to their singing about the Enterprise and Star Trek and Star Wars and Kang the Conqueror and Aquaman and Mr. Potato Head. So I was always around superheroes growing up, because my dad just was like, his whole like creative outlet was writing and participating in drumming and songs and playing concerts at bars. And I'd go see him play, you know, they'd get me into the bars like a 7-year-old, and it's, you know, different times in New York, you know, but it was a lot of fun. And that's how I learned, you know, about what adamantium was, because there was a line in the song that says, I have an adamantium skeleton. I was like 5 years old. What's adamantium? You know, it's, oh, that's Logan, you know, it covers his bones. It's like, it's metal. So I had these like conversations growing up with, you know, just a dad who knew how to, you know, talk about this stuff. But then also I didn't read very well growing up. It was just a thing. Not that I couldn't read, like I could read. I just didn't enjoy it at all. And that's a problem when you're in elementary school and, you know, taking tests and studying and all those types of things. So it was like a compromise in between reading books. I got to read JLA and Hellblazer and like Superman and it's a little Spider-Man here or there and some horror stuff and stuff that I wouldn't recommend you read a kid, you know, but also a lot of stuff that I would, like Bone and that was kind of like my gateway in, because it made reading palatable, but then it also it made me enjoy something that otherwise I probably wouldn't have done without a little encouragement, and that carried over into my adult years, clearly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's so cool that you were into science fiction as a kid, and what do you know, your first comic that you write, science fiction, you know, it's a sci-fi story. I think that's pretty cool to look at that through line.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like my love for horror and sci-fi, I was able to bring to the writing table with Ryan, because yeah, I grew up on sci-fi, but you know, horror was another big thing too. So, and we have Ben Templesmith on the art. You know, 30 Days a Night changed how I read comics growing up, and it's like one of the most. I would say I've done creator interviews before, and it's been brought up without like me bringing the conversation to it multiple times. Brian Polito brought up in the first interview I did, where he cited that being an impactful thing for how his taste of horror has evolved over the years. And it was actually a really cool moment, because when he brought it up, I happened to have a 30 Days a Night thing in my backpack, and it looks like it was super timed, you know?
This?
You mean this right here? I just bought because I'm a big fan, you know, but yeah,
I mean, doesn't everybody carry a copy of 30 Days to Night, of 30 Days of Night, like around with them in all social situations?
Yo, I have so many
Jordan
copies of
does.
that. I've had to loan that out so many times. Like my bookshelf is more of a library at this point. You know, like Ryan, you still have one of my
I
most
still have your copy of The Crow. I've had it for a decade. I still haven't opened it.
That's really what you should be holding on to in your backpack. That's something that everybody needs to read at least once a year.
It's on my shelf. It's displayed. You know, it's part of it's not shoved in a box in my closet somewhere. It's on the shelf. I pretend like I've read it.
Yeah, that's definitely something I go back to every year at least once.
Wait, so comic books are for reading? I thought they were just for displaying on bookshelves.
It's a new thing, you know. Like people are starting to figure it out that there's something on the inside. But I'm definitely an advocate of it.
So that was Tom's. Ryan, what was your introduction to comics, or what was
my dad was like, my dad's an engineer, so my dad doesn't have any time for fiction or shenanigans, nonsense like that. So I feel like my answer is more typical. Like I didn't really know about comics until the movies, you know. Spider-Man, I was born the same year as Batman, 89, so like I was kind of always grew up alongside those, you know, the Batman movies. But I'm also a big fan of if I love a movie, I will track down the book that it's based on, if it's based on a book. And that carried over into comics. And so sometime in high school and in college, I started to try and like find it was X-Men 3. I was super excited to read to watch X-Men 3 because the second X-Men movie was so good. So I tried to read a bunch of X-Men comics and they sucked. I didn't like old Silver Age Stan Lee stuff. It's way too clunky and old. So yeah, eventually that just turned into reading a little bit more and more. And eventually I moved in with a really cool guy in college who was a giant nerd who had a bookshelf full of all the classics, all the good stuff, all the Alan Moore and classic graphic novels that you would basically a dream scenario for wanting to get somebody into comics.
It's like Nice House on the Lake status.
What is?
You know, like how
Oh, yeah.
that was a deep cut. Someone, I did that for someone.
Yeah.
It wasn't for you, apparently.
I was like, he didn't have Nice House. That just came out. Like, no, that's not what you meant.
My girlfriend, she finally got into comics. Her first comic that I got for her, because she's a huge horror movie fan, is I got her Something Is Killing the Children. So she loved it. My proudest moment was when she was like, hey, is there like a better version of it? And I was like, yes, I'll happily buy you the deluxe, you know? So I got her Nice House on the Lake, and she did not connect with it like she connected with Something Is Killing the Children. And I was so sad.
Did she like the Conjuring book? Did you give her that?
So I bought her it. Conjuring is her favorite movie. She hasn't read it yet, but she has it on her bookshelf. So
I saw you
she's
really
really
excited. I think it was in the Comic Tropes video that I saw you pull that out, and I wanted to be like, oh, that was actually pretty good, but I wasn't, in the chat. I was just watching it afterwards. But yeah, I read that book as was coming out. It doesn't
Ryan's
really
one of the
tie to
Braveboys fans. I love that.
I went on
He's
a little bit
watched
of
our
a deep
videos.
dive.
I love that.
Just a couple. I wouldn't say I'm crazy. Definitely not crazy.
He's probably watched more videos than I have of Brave and the Boys. Like
He has one of
Maybe.
he has one of these on his desk.
yeah,
Right over there.
he has one of
Nah.
So I'd say my next question would be, you guys are involved in a bunch of different sides of the comic industry. So you have like the content creation side of it. You have the selling of it with things like your mystery mail call or your whatnot slab sales and things like that. So how has your relationship to comics changed and evolved? And even now as a writer now, how has your relationship changed? How much reading do you guys still do, like for fun? Like, what does your relationship comics look like now?
Me personally, my pull list is roughly 25 books a week, give or take. Some days, some weeks it's a little bit less, but unfortunately, some weeks it's quite a bit more. It averages about 25, and I read them every week. I plan on going home and reading a whole bunch after I work on the Trending 10 video, of course. Do my job before I read, but yeah, no, I read new weekly. That's kind of my niche on our channel is current, modern, ongoing books. So I read a whole lot.
Yeah, I use Ryan to tell me what I for sure need to read. There's been multiple times where I'll be like, just reading random stuff just because, my interests it varies. And every once in a while, there'll be something that AWA puts out and Ryan's like, you need to stop what you're doing and read this. Oh my gosh. Or, oh, Jimmy T, he did it again, and, but no, I mean, like, I don't know. You see my pull list. It's like 10 to 15 books a week as well, but I'm definitely not as current as this guy is.
I've seen you will order like 10 copies of a book that you're really stoked on. You'll roll the dice and get a whole bunch of it. And I'll see it in the box when I go to pick up my pulls and I'll shake my head and
not very good at that.
Go on with my life.
I miss a lot.
Yeah.
But
That World's Finest book.
That was good, right?
Yeah.
I did get on that.
So then on the spot, then Batman 900.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Out of 10. What are we giving it? Out of 10.
Gut instinct, because I haven't really thought about rating it, but I liked it. I would say somewhere in the 7 to 8 range.
It's fair.
Interesting.
I really love Chip Zdarsky. He's probably maybe my number 3 writer right now. So I think this current story arc hasn't been the greatest with the multiverse thing. I'm getting a little sick of multiverse storylines. But I loved the failsafe plot arc. We read that on the channel a few months ago.
Was so good.
Yes.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
I think that kind of mirrors mine and Jordan's relationship with comics. Is I don't collect any individual issues anymore. Just because like I got really into collecting when I finally got older and had adult money. And then when I moved out, I just have all these boxes of comics at my parents' house. And it's like, I don't know how to display them. Like, am I supposed to get a bunch of spinner racks around my room? Like I didn't know what to do with them. But like omnis and deluxes and trades and stuff, that stuff's way easier to, display on a bookshelf. But now I have to wait a month until DC Ultra puts, Batman 900 on there.
Right.
Yeah, it's the downside.
But I did pre-order a couple covers of Crashdown.
Oh, heck yeah.
That's us.
Is that
We
a good
got a couple,
segue?
man. We got a couple.
Yes,
We
for
wrote
those of you
that.
guys. So yes, everyone watching, they wrote a comic book. We have a trailer we can show you called Crashdown. It's sci-fi. It kind of gives me like a Dead Space like kind of vibe to it. Like it looks really cool. I'm really excited about it. You guys want to play the trailer? Should we play the trailer?
I think it's time.
Please
Let's do it.
Forgot that's why we were here.
Extended animation and cryotechnology. With the sun's demise imminent, we are now 72 hours from departure for planet Empyrean. With a 95% chance for Earth-like conditions, your efforts will be vital for the successful continuation of our species. On behalf of the entire human race, we here at Apollo Industries thank you for your service. With the dramatic increase in solar radiation, 95% chance for Earth-like conditions. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
So that comes out July 5th.
July 5th. FOC is June 5th. And we have like a really packed like portfolio of covers available. We got a David Mack cover open to order, which I was very proud to make that happen. You know, most of the time his stuff is typically ratio. And this is, you know, whatever cover price is right now for Whatnot Publishing. It's $4 or something.
Should be a
Here's
$4
a couple of
cover
those
price
covers
on
right
this
now.
book.
Yeah,
Oh,
there you
yeah.
go. So yeah, that's David Mack right there in the middle. Of course, we have the classic one that we've been using since last year in New York, which is the Ben Templesmith cover on the right. And then the far left, that's Casey Parsons. Shout out Kirby's Comic Art. Definitely been one of the favorites of the group.
I pre-ordered the original, like this was the Ben Templesmith one, and then you guys did a blank cover also, right? What's
sure
that
did.
called in single editions? I forget what the term of that, but I got that one also.
Blank works.
Yeah,
Sketch cover.
Sketch cover typically.
Either or.
Sketch cover. That sounds so much better than blank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is blank though. You're not. It's not incorrect.
That's true.
We
We gotta have those blank covers for the artists to go ham during the convention season. Pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that.
that'll be a fun.
Hey Jake, what happened to our background? Just to ask, because is it black?
Oh,
Or is it just for me?
Everything
I
looks
think I
good right
clicked the
now.
wrong. Let's see. I think
Looks
you mean the
black on
background
our
behind
screen
us.
at
We'll
least.
there we go.
Ooh,
Oh, we're back.
We're back.
that darn trailer.
I had tried to make a background that would show like your covers, but it didn't work out good because obviously we were blocking the covers. So I think I accidentally
that's
clicked the
not
wrong
good.
thing.
We saw some on the
Um,
screen, so that's pretty cool.
Awesome. So what do you guys find as like the pros and cons or the differences between the different like Whatnot versus YouTube versus like the kind of the different places that you're on? Like what are the pros and cons of them?
Ooh, I mean, they're just all for different things, you know. I guess the pros and cons are the pros are being able to connect to our community. The cons are there's only certain ways you can do that per platform. So it's really just about time management, and that could be a little difficult. You know, we want to be everywhere all at once, and there's so many places that we're expected to be. So we're largely on YouTube, Instagram, Whatnot. You know, we dabble on TikTok and Facebook, things like that. You know, we post on there. I probably should use Twitter way more, but I would say that the pros of being able to connect to our community is number one. You know, it's really cool to be able to get DMs from people who saw us in previews, and it's a really good feeling because it's like we're in this room. You know, it's obviously you're joining us here today, but typically we don't have individuals in this room with us. It's just literally me, Ryan, and Golden Age Guru, Butch, and Russ. You know, and we're just kind of talking to a camera that's recording us and then editing it and then putting it out there. So, you know, it's nice to be able to connect with the community because it kind of gets a little, I don't know. It feels like, I don't want to say lonely, but like, it's definitely feels like we're just here, you know, it's nice to, it's like not being in the convention scene for a couple years.
I was gonna say, at
Made
least
you
you've been
feel
to
it
some
more.
cons lately.
Yeah.
When you go to cons, I just get to hang out here with Butch.
That's
You
true.
know,
You're
I
going
put-
to San Diego.
I put
It
little
was
kitty
fun
headphones
seeing
on.
your Vegas photos on Instagram.
Oh,
You got to meet James Tinian, which I was so jealous of.
yeah. I've
Tiny
met him a
Onion?
few times. It was always, every time I see him, I just like, he's actually one of the few creators I get a little nervous around.
I haven't met him yet. I'm very jealous.
He's like such a cool dude.
Dude, he roasted this person on Twitter last night or 2 nights ago or something. I guess he tweeted that like Twitter is talking about adding a feature where you can call people, and he's like, "Yo, if Twitter adds phone calls, like I'm out of here."
Hell yeah.
And some guy like responded to him and was like, I gotta give you a lesson. I gotta give you a how to be a man lesson, because real men take phone calls or some shit. And he was like, "Hey, I'll take a real man lesson anytime, but buy me dinner first."
Yeah. He's so cool. Yeah, you don't go up against Jimmy T, man.
Yeah, no,
He-
that's
his
true.
wit is endless.
That feature sounds really, really
It's like, yeah, it's probably
Strange.
like IG. You can video message someone. You don't have to take a freaking call.
Yeah,
But
You're not
but
forced
also,
to talk to them.
that's
Yeah,
true.
right.
I guess my next question would be, what are your feelings of like the speculative market side of comics? Do you ever have like, I guess like concerns that maybe like, I don't know, like what are your thoughts on it? Because I think there's pros and cons to it. You know what I mean? Like it's cool that it becomes like a collective thing, but sometimes obviously like prices go up, you can price people out and things like that. So like, how do you feel about the speculative side of comics and your effect on them?
Ooh, okay. Well, there's two parts to that question. So the first part is how I feel about it in general. And I spec on comics all the time. I think it's one of the funnest things I can do. It's what I do on my downtime. It's my entertainment. I'm hunting books. I'm pressing books. I'm cleaning books. I'm grading books. I'm looking at books I'm going to buy. I'm looking at books I may want to sell to upgrade. Like it's a huge part of the overall like health of the marketplace. Those who are interested in buying more than cover price of comics, mind you, people ain't even buying cover price comics right now. Like the industry is definitely not at its peak. And but in regards to like our effect on the market, well, how I feel about that is that it's like a lot of responsibility, right? Like it's something that's like ever since day one, it's been top of mind, like a stressful thing to ensure that whatever we do on the mic, or hitting the mic with purpose, intention, there's no like, outside agenda. I don't even like talking about Kickstarters on my channel. Especially, there's no, which, and I'm not knocking anyone who like plugs Kickstarters on their channel. That's, to each their own. We've plugged Kickstarters, but we get offered to like do sponsorships to plug Kickstarters. And it's like, we've never done that. I'm never going to do that. Like we do certain things to keep our opinions unbiased. And also we cover, and we've done this since the beginning, we could be a quote speculation channel. I've gotten awards for being a speculation channel, shout out to the homies out there, but like who voted that for us. But I've definitely never described our channel as speculation as far as like the main thing that we try to provide, because when we cover stuff, it's what's already happened. The market's already decided on what's going on. They've purchased, we're going to talk about the new Free Comic Book Day book that came out last week.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's high on the list, so like you're going to preview it. We're going to hit the mic tomorrow and do a trending video like we do every week. We've done it for going on, is it like, it's over 4 years now we've done it. So every week we've never missed a week. And that book, we actually got some copies of, and we sold them like the same day for cover price, like $5 a piece or something.
The cover
like
price is technically zero on that book.
Oh yeah, because we got it, like we got it for being like a diamond retailer and stuff. So
that's part of the conversation. I'm researching that one, but
you know what I mean?
Yeah, for a book to show up on these lists, it has to either sell a whole bunch of copies over the last week or sell significantly higher than its 12-month average over the last week. And if it does, it's one of 10 or 20 books that makes it onto one of these lists. So we look at the list and report on the list, and we give our speculation as to why we think that book might be on there. Is it because some trailer dropped, or in this Spider-Man case, is it because it's the first appearance of a certain character in the video game universe? And, we try to build a conversation and a video around that.
So, and that's like especially true with like the Hot 10, which I meant. These are multiple increases in sales amongst multiple grades, sometimes the same grade, but enough to put it on a list that sets it above the rest. Like these comics put themselves on our list that we talk about. Granted, when you talk about 10 books twice a week, 4 times a month, we're doing coverage of 80 plus comic books, and that's outside the podcast where we'll dish 20 books in one podcast. So when you get into like those numbers of talking about comic books, there's a chance for sure that we may introduce something to someone, that we may add an opinion that someone agrees with. They may look at a price and go, geez, that's what's going on. That sounds like a good deal. And then they may jump in. So like we take this seriously. But you'll also seldomly hear me say like, don't buy this comic. You'll seldomly hear me say, oh guys, I think you should spec on this comic. You should buy this now. Like there are times I have, and when I have, it's like a thing I point out, like, yo, I don't typically say this often, but I'm feeling really good about this. And that way, when I do say it, I'm like on the record with it, and that, I can have like a base of if I was accurate or not. And I have a good track record with that. And also it prevents me from, as you would say, influencing the market in a negative way. I try to just like be unbiased, and we just bring the news to the community,
Yeah, I can imagine that it's a hard line to have to thread, being that you have videos talking about the speculative market, but you also do sell comics through things like your mailbox, like your mail service, or like on Whatnot and things like that. So it's got to be like an ethical line that you have to kind of be mindful of.
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting.
Yeah, we can never. One thing that we did really quick when we started selling more expensive books on Whatnot is we immediately started just pricing books. Like on Whatnot, you don't have to price your books. You can list everything for $1, just like on eBay, and let it go. You don't have to put pictures of it. You have to put the grade. You have to put like minimal information to communicate what the buyer is going to get. But we go out of our way to do like GPA 12-month averages, recent sales on the majority of our books, especially if they're expensive. That way, no matter what, we're at least communicating fair market value and never trying to take advantage of a novice collector or something.
Wouldn't it be so much easier to buy one of those old timey books that tell you the value of the comic book? You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, you can get the Overstreet price guide, which is really great.
The one that's like,
it's like we call it, and this isn't my term, but like it's what it's known in the community. It's like the Bible of comic books. It's like literally it's a giant book, and you gotta squint. People get oversized ones. I always like the oversized spiral editions because you can lay it out and see it, because I have terrible eyesight. But the main thing is like Key Collector Comics is really the app you need if you want to get into purchasing comic books and being up on the marketplace, because it is the most user-friendly portfolio of comics all in one place, so that you can know what you have, but also do your research too. And it's a free app for everyone to use. Shout out Key Collector.
If you want to be that kind of collector.
Yeah, if you're here's the thing. If you want to know the order to read Infinity Gauntlet, it's on Key Collector. If you want to know how to read Star Wars in order, like literally everything from the beginning, it's on Key Collector. Like there's stuff for reading, and there's definitely stuff for value on there too. And it's being updated so much. Like, how much of the Golden Age market is relying on Key Collector right now? But there's Golden Age on there in case you want to dive into that. It's kind of that thing.
That's interesting. This is so new for us, because like so much of the industry that we're a part of is the collected edition side of comics. So for me, how do I read Star Wars? Will I buy the omnibus and read it from the beginning to the end? You know what I mean? So it's obviously so much different when you're doing single issue. So we'll take one of the comments now. Questions is, as a comic seller, is there a market for spec collection editions? So
like for trades? Do trades ever pop off? Is that what that means?
Yeah, I think he means like, does trades? I mean, obviously omnibuses will go out of print for a period. I think that's what he means. Is there like any kind of market for collected editions, or is it just when they go out of print, their price kind of goes up?
I mean, for that's pretty much what it's like. Is like you're gambling on the how often they're going to bring it to press. It costs a lot of money to do that.
I wonder what about like a Reckless, like something that skipped the single issue format and is just an original graphic novel.
There are many of those. Yeah, there are many collectible comics that are only found in graphic novel form, and there are random variants of which that only live in that like a little bit square bound area of the collectibles. So there definitely is a market for it. It's a unique market and it has its different risks. I personally don't purchase omnis or graphic novels or hardcovers
unless they're from Gem.
When they announced
that, unless I'm going to read them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
When they announced that they wouldn't be reprinting the complete life and times of Scrooge McDuck due to things that Disney wanted to kind of step away from, I was like to my girlfriend, I was like, we got to buy a lot of copies of this book. It's going for like 60% off on Amazon. We'll buy them and we'll sell them. And then I didn't buy them. And then like now the price is like, it's almost full price right now. And so it's interesting.
There's ebbs and flows to that. It's a tough one to land, but seriously, there are some omnis that they're probably not going to go back to print for a while. And then boom, like had they made a Last of Us at the time that Last of Us came out, the issue 1 American Dreams came out before the release of the first game. And they do that a lot. It's to help with the overall project of the game, not necessarily about the collectible of the comic. No one cares about that, right? Except for us. Well, had they collected that edition of the first, I think it's 4 or 5 issues of American Dreams. I can't remember in this moment.
I think
it's 4. Those 4, yeah, it is 4. Those 4 issues into a graphic novel, those issues sold under 10,000 units a piece. So I would imagine a graphic novel printing to a couple thousand maybe. Well, now that Last of Us is popping, I imagine if this was a product that was made, a 9.8 of a collected edition like that, yeah, that would have been good. That there's money in that, especially because it's first print. Spawn first print. That graphic novel sells very well as well. Like you can get high grade copies for like $40, $50. So like you can go back through certain like really popular titles, and yeah, there's money in the first printings. But then you have stuff like Johnny the Homicidal Maniac that went to like 17 printings. So then it's like, okay, well, are those worth really specking on? Well, some of them, because maybe by the third printing, they only made 1,000 copies of it. So now people actually want that third printing over the second and the fourth. And it's comics, yeah.
I think this is a fun question. So, Crashdown, I think, you guys are building this sci-fi world. Where have you ever thought about, just for fun, like where else that could expand to, like the Crashdown video game, the Crashdown TV show, or like, have you guys ever thought about, had that conversation, like what could Crashdown like become?
Yeah, in all honesty, because my first thought as soon as I saw the trailer for Crashdown was like, this would be so far an awesome movie pitch. So,
geez, that's really nice to say.
Yeah, thank you. By the way, yeah, that's good to hear. I know I think for both of us, but for me, for sure, most of the influences we had for Crashdown are based in movies. So there's a lot of like cinematic DNA inside of Crashdown, if you will. I think it could make a pretty good movie if the comic gods smile upon us, but I don't know. I don't know about a video game necessarily. I'm not sure it would be the most fun video game.
It's like Alien Isolation kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think you would stand a very good chance in the world of Crashdown.
Yeah. I haven't really thought that large with it. I mean, obviously when you make a comic book, the thought of it being picked up in some way, option status even which is so far removed from even being close to a freaking pilot or something like that. But yeah, I mean, that's obviously like one of the big, if we hit the lottery, that's really cool. It's like, there's a 1 in a million shot, but no, I haven't really lived in that headspace too much, because it's like, it's so much about the comic
Still
itself.
Trying to write the damn thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we're almost done, but yeah.
But you guys aren't writers, right? You guys wrote a comic book, but you're not writers.
We're writers, I'm saying
there we go.
You can be modest, Ryan.
Thank you.
Fucking imposter syndrome. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's very real. Very, very real. At least in my case.
So
I feel like a comic writer if we ever do a second book, some other series.
And I appreciate the question. We're watching the chat too, so thank you so much for the participation. Hit the like button while you're down there too.
Right, smash that like button. Joe Davison says, question for the guests: why does the business side of comics interest y'all so much? Thanks for the content; it's entertaining. Do you think some of that stems from because you were a banker before you went into doing this, right? Like, I think that's what I researched. Tom,
yes, and Ryan was a teller.
I was only because my mom made me.
That's true. I hired him. I literally hired this guy as a teller at the branch I ran.
Probably because of my mom.
Like banking really had nothing to do with it as much as just like, I was like, as to this day, like I'm a part, like I actively buy and trade and do all the stuff that that we do now, like obviously professionally in certain areas. But no, I still buy comics, and I'm always trading up and I'm making deals. I'm itching to move my Journey 83 eventually. I don't know. It's like it's a bug. You just keep on going, and eventually we brought Jem in a few times, but he's really like honed in on the phrase. He really like, I don't know if he created this phrase, but really people know the phrase because of him, is that like, let the hobby fund itself, right? Like if you don't, no one needs, except for Jem Mint, 1,000 omnibus behind him. Maybe move your run of Conan to Tom, which which is what I did. I bought his Conan, because it's selling it.
Oh, nice.
And then get more things, So it's the same with comics, like I have a really small collection, but I have a really dope collection, and it's constantly evolving, So the business side of things is, well, it's like, okay, doing it professionally versus working in the business side of it. Well, like if you're part of the hobby, you're buying stuff, you're trading, you're going to conventions, you're on the ground hunting for comics, you're grading books, you're standing in lines, getting SIGs,
Yeah, there's a difference though. Like I personally don't see myself as a market focused comic person. I am very much a comic reader. I like following, who's going to jump on the next run of, whatever book, who's writing the new Green Lantern series, who's writing the new Hulk series, what's this creator doing next in the creator owned space.
Right.
I recently, just last year, bought my first copy of Department of Truth at a 9.8. I am low key speculating on the success of James.
So proud of you. So proud of you.
I'm excited. That deluxe should be coming in any day now.
What's that?
I ordered the deluxe of it. They should come in any day because they just dropped the deluxe of it a few days ago.
I got mine on my shelf, baby. It's pretty.
See, I bought it from In Stock Trades and they held up my order. They should have gone to. I should have gone to Organic Price Books.
Wow!
Which means you can use our code Braveboys. I'm just kidding.
That's good. Keep it up.
Don't
That's good.
kid.
Show it off.
That's the thing.
Guys, if you're buying 1 or 2 books from Organic Price Books, the link is down below. You can save $2 with the code Braveboys. But if you're buying 3 or more books, you can use the code Braveboyssit to save 5%. We
That's crazy.
finally made enough to buy 2 Omnis this week for free. So it just like,
Hey, that's awesome.
I'm so it means it's amazing to us, you know, just like that we finally. I mean, obviously it's
For
not
free.
profit. I've put a lot of money into this series,
Yeah.
this channel, but
Dude, we have spent hundreds to probably maybe a couple thousand now on the channel, on books for the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a business.
It's expensive, yo. This
Yeah.
stuff is we joke about, we call it expensive paper. It's all silly, but it's all really cool.
Now I
but-
did have a question in regards to Crashdown. So I know you guys are 100% we're focusing on individual issues still because we haven't even had issue number 1 come out. But I know it takes some time to put everything together in a collected edition. And since we're mostly a collected edition channel, what do we see going on in the future for something like that? Like, do we have?
geez.
are we gonna get a Crashdown Absolute?
I
Yeah.
could only freaking dream, dude. I would love some kind of like a nice slipcase.
Yeah, man.
You
I mean,
know,
like,
the thick ass paper in there.
well, what's cool is like we
The
teamed up with,
smell.
we picked Whatnot because there's just like so much opportunity. Obviously, we were sponsored by Whatnot. Our show is. So we're working with people that we already work with on like business side, and their intention with this is to like let us do what we want to do, you know, to see our vision through, to respect creative rights, to endorse it, to help market it, and to empower us to be able to do more because we're working with comic fans, yo. Like they like comics. There's people we work with there that literally collect comic books. Like most companies like this size, you'd be lucky to have somebody even know what a freaking incentive is. You know what I mean? And the fact that they not only know, they're like actively like acquiring IPs
hyping
and
it
like
up, yeah.
and they're like they're getting stuff done. You know, they're putting out comics and they don't have to do that. Well, it's like, dude, you ever want to like all these? There's a lot of peeps who think they know Whatnot well because of just the comic section, but like you got to go on the check out the sports cards.
Yeah,
You got to check out
like
the
an afterthought
magic
on the app overall.
It's crazy. There's like thousands of people.
Vinyl and clothes and
Children's clothing has its own.
Yeah.
Like there's like 100 and some odd categories over there. Comics is a very, very tiny one, and they have, and they have wanted to make comic books. Like, oh my goodness, this is everything that I have been complaining about the marketplace coming to a head, or in someone going, you know, we got to do something about this. We want to make sure comics exist, right? We got to make them. So they empowered us to make one, and so far it's been amazing because our vision is coming to fruition. It's happening.
I
far
like
as I know.
Bunkmaster's comment that says this. He has Ben Templesmith's The Squitter Kraken edition, which is a beautiful oversized slipcase.
Heck yeah.
He said, "I would love to see a big dang Crashdown next to it." What would your adjective be? What would it be? What Crashdown would would the version be called?
Hot dog size. So like we
go watch Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, we're fans of Battlestar Galactica. I was so late.
You're very late.
To Battlestar Galactica, and I'm very grateful for it.
You're welcome. By
Yeah,
the
it's
way.
good. It's like one of my favorite
Yeah.
shows of all time, and
You got to finish it, though.
Yeah, I haven't finished it
You
because
haven't finished.
I have to let it go slow, man, because I like it so much.
The best
But,
season's the last season.
Yeah, no, and I got like 6 episodes left. And I'm
Wait,
just like,
should Jordan and I get into it, and then we can just make our own Battlestar Galactica podcast?
dude, you're probably gonna want to because it's like so much cooler.
Not the
than-
old Battlestar, though. You want
No.
the 2000 version.
Yeah. Starbuck and Frack.
I
and
mean,
all
you
that
can
kind
go
of
watch
stuff.
the 70s stuff if you want. I couldn't make it through one episode of that show. It was way
Yeah,
too
yeah.
cheesy.
No, but yeah, like the Sci-Fi Channel, Battlestar Galactica, it is really, really good. And one of the nicknames for their pilots is Crashdown, and we had so many.
We
names.
struggled so hard to come up with a title for this.
It was
damn book.
one of the hardest damn things we did, brother.
And there, we had. I don't know if you.
What
still
were some of the names of?
Yo,
we
that's
were
good. I
all-
wanna
don't
know
remember
that.
specifically. We had a whole list though on our Google Drive, and we were just like shooting back and forth. Like, how about this title?
Do you even
Like,
remember any of them? Like,
well, the only one I remember was Symbiont. It's
can
a
you
spoiler.
imagine?
Yeah.
Check out our comic and like How do you say it again?
I don't even remember. Is that even right? Like, I was like, that sounds too close to the symbiote, at Marvel Comics. And you're like, that's a good thing, bro. Positive association. Or something. Yeah.
Oh my god, I completely forgot that was a thing.
No,
it was almost
thing.
symbiote.
Remember.
So Crashdown is a name of a pilot in Battlestar, and you were going through Battlestar. I'm like, dude, that's cool. But I didn't watch Battlestar, so like that's why I'm even more proud of that we used it, because when I watched it and I saw it on screen, I'm like, oh, dude, we named it after that. That's freaking cool.
Plus, he's a really cool actor, Sam Witwer, who plays Crashdown, who also features in The Mist, which is another gigantic influence on this book.
And Darth Maul?
He played Darth Maul in the Clone Wars too, by the way.
Dude,
Sam
I
Witwer is
love his
badass.
videos talking about like deep cut Star Wars lore. Like Sam Witwer is super cool. He was also, I think, Star Killer on The Force Unleashed.
Oh yeah, he's a cool dude.
So aside from Crashdown, and they're always, they're like flying around like Crashdown on your left, and then there's another guy. His name is Hot Dog. So I joke with Ryan. I'm like, dude, we were like almost Hot Dog. That's what you could just call it Crashdown.
It's also a Battlestar homage. It works.
Yeah, there you go.
So
I have a question from one of your fans that are also our fans. He wants to know why do you dislike Wolverine so much and like Green Arrow so much? So this comes from Joel. He found us on the Gym Mint episode and has been a fan. He gave me a bunch of questions to ask you guys. While he does that, he sent us a box of fan mail. I guess you guys are the only other people who have got this box.
You're gonna get a nice shirt in there and a couple albums, I think. If it's the same Joel, I'm thinking.
Oh, the metal? It's the same music. Dude, we listened to your stuff. It's good.
It's very hardcore.
Yeah, I like that stuff.
A little too much for me, but
I liked
it's good.
Dude.
I can tell it's good.
Yeah. I started right before the Whatnot stream.
We did it to get pumped up before a Whatnot show one day.
I started pretending like I'm moshing with him, just like throwing my body at him.
Yeah, I can't jive with that stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's a good quality shirt though. I got one.
Well, let's see.
You were on the show one time.
I did. I wore it on one of the trending videos.
I know he one time on his Instagram he had like screenshot you wearing his shirt and he was like, he's wearing my shirt. So thank you, Joel.
Yep, that's the one.
We should have all worn our matching shirts.
That would have been would have been cool. Or very lame. I don't know about matching t-shirts, but
dude, it would have been the Joel cast at that point.
I just thought it was nice that the shirt arrived today. Like I had no plans on opening that, but it arrived today. So I was like, oh, he helped me out with a bunch of questions. Some of his questions are deep. He is a massive fan of you guys.
He says he's going through our entire backlog.
Yeah. He wants to know about your neck tattoo.
Yeah. Old references. Yeah.
Whoa, that's
Don't bring that up again, though. We're trying to. Tom just stopped bugging me about that recently.
So he helped me. I was like, because like, again, I don't spend a lot of time on Whatnot. We're more on the collected edition side, so I wasn't as familiar with your guys's work until obviously I started looking into it and stuff. But I was like, do you have a question or two? And he sends me like 30, and I was like, ooh.
Oh, that's so cool.
Or 30?
Is it Joel or Joe?
Joel.
Yeah, Joel.
Joel. Shout out Joel. That's really nice of you. The content gets better. So if you're going backwards,
so he's going forwards, but starting in the back. At least that's what I thought.
That's a while back.
So he did the same thing for our channel. He was like on one of our live streams was like, all right, great. I'm gonna go back and start watching from number 1. And I told him, please don't. Please start at around like 10 or so. 10 is where we started getting okay.
I'm doing that right now with Comic Tropes. Jealous you guys got to talk to him too.
Oh, dude, Chris was awesome.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Why are you trying to flaunt on Ryan right now? Like,
I know. Did you see what I did there? I totally did. I did that.
That's
the second time I did that to Ryan today, where he was like, "Yo, you had Comic Trope on," and I go, "Yeah, Chris was cool." Like implying that I'm on a first name basis with him.
He is really cool.
He's local, at least to us.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go find out where he lives one day somehow. Track him down. Chris,
where you at?
Let's go outside.
Yeah, he's local.
Seattle,
I really like
Chris. Can you guys spec on his cover for Vampirilla that he did?
I think we ordered it though.
Did you? I missed it. I should have got one. I missed it like a dumb.
Gotta hit up Nikki B.
I'll DM him. I'll DM him for you, man, and I'll see if I can if we can get another copy for you.
He probably doesn't even know who we are.
Chris has the best intros to comic book themed videos in the game,
dude. Yeah. Right? He has the guy that did a Saturday Morning Watchmen do it, but yeah,
the animated videos.
Yeah, this is Joel right here, the guy who gave us our shirts. He said, "Yeah, you got the box."
Hey, next time in the box.
What was one of his questions?
Oh, we didn't get the answer. Why do you dislike Wolverine and love Green Lantern so much? And do you have a favorite Green Lantern?
Okay. Favorite Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. Basic answer, but true. Only because the other ones are lamer. I do like Simon Baz.
Jon
Have you
Stewart,
pronounced
dude.
him? No, Jon Stewart's dry and boring.
Oh,
He's
dude, I feel like
Oh,
Did you watch the animated series?
No.
Oh, that's why you do.
That-
You have a completely
no.
That's why I
I'll
love
get
Jon
there.
Stewart.
bad.
After I watch all
you
of Comic
don't-
Tropes, maybe.
well, because didn't they change the character to be more in line with the animated series version of Jon Stewart?
I don't know. I find Jon Stewart
That is
boring.
exactly what
Every
they
comic
did, my
I've
friend.
ever read with Jon Stewart, he's been, oh, we gotta go. He's got no personality. All he does
No,
is like
yeah,
whine
so-
about he blew up a planet one time 40 years ago.
Oh
and
my
that's
god!
Like,
And he never shuts up about the fact that he blew up this planet.
Yeah.
Like in Blackest Night, when the
Dude, wouldn't you be a little upset with yourself if you
Sure.
blew up a planet?
I don't blame him
How
for being
dare
upset.
you?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my
no, I
God.
know
when,
it's
he has,
boring.
when they all get Black Lantern rings and he has to fight the entire
the
I was
planet
like,
itself. Yeah.
yeah.
If I
That sounds
remember
like it's
correctly.
pretty freaking cool to me.
Yeah. Tom loves Green Lantern and Blackest Night.
No, I just don't
specifically.
care for Green Lantern that much, but I do like Jon Stewart, and I like him because of the animated series, and then everything that came out after that.
Yeah. No.
And then if you go back to like the Denny O'Neil days, you just have like a great respect as well.
Well, yeah, he was good back then. I did like that run. That's a good absolute too.
But why do you not like Logan?
Logan,
Ryan just doesn't like things that people like. That's actually
do.
that's actually what needs to be said. If
that's not entirely wrong.
this
either.
guy, I'd be like, dude, you got to watch this. This is like really, really good. And he'll literally say, "Oh, I'm gonna like delay watching it because I don't want to be like everyone else."
I don't want to be that guy.
That's literally, I don't want to be that guy.
You know,
So it's like you can't really trust him.
it goes wrong though. It backfires. Like I waited a little too long to watch Squid Game, and by the time I did, nobody cared anymore because that's how Netflix works.
He comes over, dude. You see Squid Game?
Yeah,
And he's not even talking about the Netflix show. He just watched the Mr. Beast video.
Yeah, dude. He's like,
that's a good example though. YouTubers, like as an entire genre. Like I can't stand YouTubers, especially this guy. But mostly, you know, I don't know what the hell Mr. Beast is. I saw everybody posting a video of a story of him the other day with like a suitcase full of cash. It's like I don't know what everybody's doing. I don't
So
know what the hell
he
Mr.
makes-
that sounds
Beast
like
is.
only like one of his like hundreds of videos. Like
Yeah.
every
So
video
luckily
starts with
nobody
cash.
talks about how good we are, so that's why you like us, right? You like our videos.
Exactly. It's a very underground thing. You know, you got to
Yeah.
be cool,
Yeah,
like the stuff
Yeah.
that nobody else talks about.
you got to be one of 600 in order to really like us.
But
We
no,
just hit the big
Wolverine,
600
Wolverine, man.
subscribers.
I can get
Yeah.
into why I don't like Wolverine, man. It's
he's
mostly
just
from the
frustrated
movies.
because it's 180, 181, and he's not sure which is the first appearance.
It's
Ryan
180.
thinks-
I know it's the when he first freaking appears in. That's a whole separate
Oh my god,
conversation.
dude! I gotta have
Is
you.
that when
we
he
gotta
fights
have
the
it.
Hulk?
That is.
Yeah, he gets
It's the
introduced.
issue where he first introduced and in a fight with the Hulk at the very end of
Mhm.
issue 180, where he appears on a whole page at the end and goes, "I'm Wolverine," or whatever the hell.
It's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
basis of the term cameo versus first appearance in the
Ooh.
comic collectors market, because Hulk 180, he's on it a lot in the back. Like it's just like so borderline enough that people go, well, this is what they did in comics. At the end of the issue, they introduced what's gonna happen in the next issue. And then he's on front and center of Hulk 181. So that's the book that everyone wants. It's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, I'll just say it is. It is the biggest Bronze Age book of all time. I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure.
Asking the wrong person.
It would be top 5 for sure, and probably
Yeah.
number 1 on most people's list. So, but people argue a lot because 180 doesn't get the love it deserves, considering that he literally is there for the first time. So I think a lot of people would disagree with you, Ryan. I want to talk about that on the show.
I don't care.
Ooh.
Sure, I'll talk about it. I'm willing to be hated for my Wolverine opinions.
I just got to get people to hate you more.
That's fair. It's part of the channel.
Is that what that
I don't know.
is?
I think we're Team Ryan though, because Ryan seems
There
like
you
the
go.
actual comic book reader. I'm just kidding.
That's right.
He is, dude. He is the
Only
comic
Wolverine
reader.
though.
I know, I gotta read. It's my comic reading is very strange because we have to talk about so many books every week that
Mhm.
I typically end up reading stuff that I don't know I'm going to read until like a couple days before. So like all of a sudden it's like, oh, I need to catch up on whatever. Like I read Secret Wars, the first run, over again because of like Beyonder stuff. And then I end up reading
Mhm.
Secret Wars 2 because of that. But
Meanwhile,
like,
I've never read it.
but like it was because of what was going on Disney Plus with Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur. And I'm like, okay, well, Beyonder. Like I had to spend a minute. So I all of a sudden started reading Secret Wars. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is like barely Beyonder. I gotta read the
Yeah.
second volume, which
I
was
was gonna
just,
say you can
know.
just skip the first Secret Wars at that point and read Secret Wars 2. He's like almost not in the first one.
exactly. So that's why I end up reading the second one. And next thing you know,
Yeah,
it's
this
like, oh,
isn't
yeah, you read a lot of
everybody's
comics?
favorite?
Yeah, but like,
This
whatever.
isn't everyone's favorite book.
Go straight to the Hickman stuff, man.
It's fun, but then you got Hickman.
Just do the Hickman stuff.
You got to.
That's the real Secret Wars.
So
Did you guys? These aren't that big in collected editions, but they just released the Avengers 2 by
I haven't
Jonathan
opened
Hickman.
mine yet. It's sitting on my desk at home. Yep.
Have you
Oh,
guys
it's-
seen what they did?
What'd
To
they
the
do?
spines?
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. What'd they do? I haven't put it on the shelf yet.
They don't.
Oh, good. Okay, I was hoping that's what happened.
The A's
Oh.
don't match.
They don't
But
match.
it don't match.
I thought it was gonna be the exact same logo both times.
It's like, how does that happen?
They tried.
They didn't try.
we tried.
That's them not trying.
Well, the
Not
first
trying. To me,
printing
it's
of
copy
it.
and pasting. The same.
That's
look.
what they
Yeah, they
basically
didn't
did.
change the file after the first printing.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But
So they didn't copy and paste it. They literally didn't even do the thing they were supposed to do. Have at
That's
least made
fine.
it like a different color.
That's fine.
But
That won't.
there's
kill me.
like a
That's
mod
crazy.
of the Omnibus Collectors Reddit that like makes custom dust jackets for like $9. And
Oh,
you
I'm
can
gonna fix
seen
it.
some of those.
Oh, that's really
Yeah.
cool. They're like, yes, they did it again. Oh, let's make some dust covers.
Yeah, my Jeff Johns omnibus. I think you've got those, Jake. The Jeff Johns Green Lantern
do.
Omnis. They have pretty dry, boring dust jackets, and I know there's a website where you can buy ones that are a little nicer, but I don't care.
This
Jake
is the
also
worst.
hates
Look at
that.
look at these daredevils.
Yeah, that's irritating. But I'm a purist.
So
Did you flip your Swamp Things around, by the way?
I haven't yet. They're right here. So I didn't know about the fourth Swamp Thing on. So I thought I was like, does he own 2 copies of one of the Swamp Thing like absolutes? I didn't realize that fourth one was like related to it at all because I thought the
It's
3
not
were the whole
technically
Alan.
related. They did
Yeah.
the whole Alan Moore run in 3 absolutes, and then
Yeah.
afterwards they released the Bernie Wrights and Len Wein original Swamp Thing, the Bronze Age stuff.
Which
so
would
it's
go
like,
Saga.
it's like a decade earlier or so, and yeah, it's slightly different color on the spine too. So
Sure.
it's not. It doesn't look exactly the same, but all 4 they do look really nice together.
I gotta
That-
reread.
that
Swamp.
was
I
really
gotta
cool. I
reread
liked
that
it.
one more stuff. It's about time.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
especially in
I-
absolute.
I should read Swamp Thing. I have all 6 of them of the paperbacks. I've just read like the first issue of the first one, and that's about it.
I did it all
uh,
in one weekend. It was a very crazy, trippy weekend, but it was good.
I sold him my trades to fund the second absolute.
That's how you
I
do
think
it.
it was a dumb deal
do
too.
it.
It was something like,
It's a
hey,
very
you
dumb
pay
deal.
for half
Get the
of
absolute.
this absolute, and I'll just give you the 6. And I was like, oh
Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
yo, it's like $60 for the absolute. Give me $30 and I'll give you all the trades.
yeah. And I was like, all right, that's fine.
Okay, I guess that's a good deal for both of you
Do
then.
you have a opinion on the recoloring that they did on the absolutes?
Me personally, no. Not really. I know it bugs a lot of people, and I can see why. I guess they kind of. I think that's one of the reasons I don't really love older comics. I guess is they're printed on newspaper, and you kind of had to adapt to the low technology of the time. But that's one of the cooler things about like some of the smaller absolutes, like Killing Joke in Year One. They just
Mhm.
print
You get
both.
the both colorings.
Yeah, they're so
Mhm.
short, so you just put 2 different copies of the same book.
Yeah.
And yeah, I still would prefer to read the modern one. I would flip through the old colorings just to see what it looked like and how like kind of weird, kind of blacklight, trippy day glow colors the Killing Joke had in the original
Mhm.
coloring, but I prefer the modern.
But think, what if like 40 years from now they come out with a collected edition of Crashdown that they recolored because color technology improved in the past 40 years? Like, wouldn't you be like, that's not how I fucking made it?
As long as they
Oh,
don't
yeah.
change the words, who cares? It's just
man.
Ben's art.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately for Ben, it's like his art. That's actually one of the cool things about this project is that he signed up to do every part of it, like from inking to lettering to. I mean, granted, I think lettering we may have switched out a little bit of lettering, but he designed the word bubbles and he not just inked it, but he colored it as well. So he's just like a diehard indie creator, which is a really cool thing to watch because most of the time you're piecing stuff together. Like even variant covers are pieced together sometimes. You have like a penciler you pay and a colorist, or rather a penciler, inker, and colorist. So comics even more so. Traditionally, you get each part of the process done by a different person, and it kind of goes through this
Like a chain.
Game of telephone?
Yeah,
Mhm.
telephone chain, like a conveyor. Or what is it? Like I'm thinking like cars. Like you make cars, like Ford back in the
Assembly
day.
line.
Like assembly line.
There
Yeah,
you
exactly.
go.
It's like that.
That's the
So
word. We're writers.
but Ben does it. He's a jack of all trades with this. Like, so we got like a real Ben T book, which is pretty dope.
Did your
That's
relationship
awesome.
with him start? Because didn't he do he does like a lot of the variant covers, the exclusive variant covers for your mailing service?
Oh yeah. I consider him a close friend at this point. He was always someone that I would see at conventions because he lived up here in Seattle. So as considering he's one of my favorite artists, and then he was also so like present at conventions I would go to, I would be able to talk to him, and
He
support
has
him
that
on
horror background
Patreon.
also,
Mhm.
which
Oh,
probably had to
absolutely.
be a great fit.
Exactly. So like we teamed up on a couple covers, and some of our first covers we did a Eats What Feeds It cover,
Ooh.
which was really fun because we actually really like that book too, and the creative team over there, who's also they're the same creative team of Liquid Kill,
They're
which
also
is,
doing a book with
they're
Whatnot. It's
doing-
kind of
yeah.
fortuitous.
which is really cool to be like side by side with them in the previews guide, and then also we did what was the other one? We did another scout book with him.
With Ben?
Yeah, the one with the caves, and it's kind of like Lord of the Rings, but modern day.
Oh, White Ash.
White Ash. Yeah, we did a White Ash cover.
Oh,
with
he did
him.
that. It was in your hallway with the one that looks
Yeah.
like Heisenberg on there.
Yep. So we have we did that, and then I had this idea. I'm like, yo, because we were, I wouldn't say we were friends at this point. Like we were just like working together, but he knew who I was, like conventions and stuff, and obviously we have a YouTube channel and stuff, so we've seen that. But I'm like, yo, I'm really gonna try to like swing for the fences, as they say in sports ball, and see if we can get like a boys cover. So I like worked on making that deal happen with Dynamite, and I'm like, yo, if we figure it out, can we do a reprint of issue #1, Homelander? And I want Ben Templesmith to do it. And this is like, we hadn't done that many covers at that point, so it wasn't like I don't have like the network I have now to be able to make covers happen. So he's like, yo, dude, Homelander, yeah. And it was like one of our first banger covers that we had, like out the gate, sold so well, and to this day sells very well. So that brought us together going through that project. And then we were friends. We're hanging out at his place and going out to dinner. And his wife Ashley's lovely. And then they put out a comic, and we had them out. We flew him up to like do signings at our shop. Like, yes, he became a really close friend. But then the comic kind of conversation came up throughout all that. He's like, dude, if you ever want to do a comic book, I would love to do one with you. And I'm like, damn, I'm going to remember that. So, every once in a while, we're chatting, we're hanging out. He'd be like, dude, it's kind of ready to comic, man. And he would kind of like tease me about it. And then after
in that voice of his, though, he's got a voice.
You can do the voice better than me. I can't do his voice, man.
It can be any voice because I don't know what his voice sounds like. So you could do anything. I'd be like, oh my God, that's a perfect voice.
He's Australian. So he's got a little bit of an accent, right? And I like to get him things from there's a couple of candies he's introduced me to, so I like bring that to him and stuff. But anyways, when we found out that we could do a comic book through Whatnot, and they had mentioned like, oh, we heard that you were interested in doing a comic with Ben, like you're trying to work on that. I'm like, well, as interested as you can be of like trying to come up with ideas to like move forward on a project that's never been like moved past idea, like I had a bunch of ideas. I knew what he didn't like to draw, I did that kind of homework.
Cats?
But when they all cats and like
their buttholes,
specifically that. And then
apparently he likes drawing those.
I guess so. I don't even know. But it's the opportunity came up, and he was super down to do it. And then since then we've been like working together, talking all the time. So he's a great dude. He's a really nice.
Is it like a strictly like you guys have everything written and he does the art, or like has he had any effect on has anything changed due to his art, or did he have any effect on the story at all, or is it strictly he's just the artist and he just draws what you guys say?
I mean, there is a narrative throughout the art that we got to give him credit for, like choosing the position of putting a character or like a perspective. There is like narratives that you're helping form throughout how the art style is.
It's our first written comic. So Tom and I, especially on issue 1, we, at least speaking for myself, I was a little worried, and I tend to overwrite and be a little too descriptive.
Sure.
And there were times where we spent a lot of time like stressing and worrying about like what a specific scene would play out as. And then you hand it off to Ben, and he just gives you this beautiful, glorious page of artwork. And we just look at each other. We're like, oh, we wasted all this time like wondering how this would work and what would go where's. And he does it. So by the time we got through issue 2, it's just like, yeah, Ben, here you go. Like, here's a 2-page spread. This happens and this happens. Have fun, make it cool.
And to our credit, or possibly, to our the negative end of that
detriment
spectrum, to our detriment, yes. We scripted the whole thing. We had the overall 3-issue plot line, all the beats mapped out, at least 80% of the way, with major plot points that we still used by the end of it. And we have an editor. Shout out Michael Calero, massive publisher, license holder of the Whatnot publishing brand, and artist of Alpha Betas, and creator of Quested, and editor of multiple Whatnot publishing books. He's been an indie writer and creator and artist for years and years. So he's helping us so much to like make sure we do things right. And there have been times where it's like, hey, this doesn't really make sense. We do need to fix this. Maybe if we move these panels around, maybe if we talk about this earlier in the issue than later in the issue. But like overall, I'd say we came up with all the main beats to this issue, to these comics, and
the plot, the story is all us.
Yeah, it's like we're the only ones credited as the writers. So if it really sucks, it's not Ben or Michael's fault.
If it sucks, it's their fault.
Okay,
if it's good,
okay.
If it's good, it's 'cause we
there
did
we
it.
go. That's better. That's why you're here, Ryan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Keep me on
Now, with all the talk of you guys' comic book Crashdown, I would love to see a preview trailer about it. I don't know if we have one ready though.
Ooh, should we play? Can we play the other trailer
Jake?
video?
We have
We
2
have time?
trailers already for our issue 1. How cool is that?
Yeah, that's weird.
When have you ever seen that in the comic book industry? 2 trailers?
2 trailers?
What are you, Marvel?
No,
They do like 1 for every 5 books that come out, maybe.
Yeah, Spider-Man. Look
1
at
for
him. He
every 30.
swings. There he goes.
He's
There's
swinging.
Spidey.
Shots fired. We have 2
Oh,
trailers.
Really don't like that run. Okay, that's a whole separate conversation.
I think the trailer should just all be that character that no one likes. Paul is his name. Paul, the one that's dating Mary or married to Mary Jane with the kids. It's just the trailer should just be all Paul.
Yeah, Paul.
I thought you were talking about Crashdown for a second.
No.
But no, Spider-Man.
Don't reveal
yeah,
anything.
okay.
Wait, is
I
there a
know
character
how-
named Paul? Did we get a scoop?
We do have a Peter
We have
in our
Peter.
book, so
Okay.
I was getting
Ooh.
like, my disciples mixed up.
Wait,
You know,
just
shout
so
out
because
Jesus.
I want to make sure I can make money.
We have a Jesus.
Which
We
one's the
do.
first appearance of Peter? I need to make sure I have a first appearances of Peter.
Sorry, what?
Mhm.
I said I need a bunch of slabs first appearances of Peter. So let me know which one
Issue 1. Go for it.
Yeah,
Okay,
issue 1 has
okay.
all the first appearances.
Okay, here we go. Let's play
Yeah,
the second
kind
one.
of.
Everybody first appears.
Apart from weather conditions, our scanning capabilities are extremely limited. There is intense atmospheric interference on Empyrean's surface. We can't get a reading on life forms, oxygen levels, topography, anything. We're effectively blind.
That looks bad.
Luckily, that storm is still about a week out, but it will be strong enough to restrict travel down to the surface. We need to move now.
Why not just wait out the storm?
Well, Luck, that brings us to the bad news. There have been multiple malfunctions with our cryopods. Some of the pods have started waking up their occupants on their own. And soon we won't have the supplies to maintain this many conscious bodies up here. While we're under cryo, we're fed via an IV solution. We don't have nearly enough solid food ready to support everyone on this ship, if we were to wake all at once.
Well, how much time do we have?
If we don't want to all starve to death on this ship, we need to establish a foothold down there now. You 10 are some of the best in your fields. You're still going to be our first contact team. Every 48 hours, we'll send another ship full of people down to join you. I'm sure I don't need to tell you that this scenario is less than ideal. But still, it's truer now than ever. All of humanity is depending on this mission. And I know you're all the best chance that we've got. Graham, get your gear. You're joining the scout team.
Whoa, wait a second. That wasn't part
You're
of
all going down in a dropship first thing tomorrow. 0500 hours. We'll meet in the hangar. You're all dismissed.
Wait, so it's also the first appearance of Graham? That's gonna
Peter.
blow up. Oh,
Yeah,
that was Peter
good guy.
talking, but he talks to Graham. He sends Graham down to the.
No,
down to
Peter
the planet.
Graham's his whole name. That's him.
Oh. Okay,
Spoilers
Yep,
for people's
Oh.
names.
you got another scoop.
that's true. Yeah, I
Okay,
thought
so
it'd be
where can-
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
How can people get your comic? Where can they? What can they do?
Link in the description, apparently. But we have previews. We're in previews right now. Look at that. That's the shop
Beautiful.
code. You also can, like, on Preview's main website, there's a search function. You can just type in the word. It's one word, Crashdown. You can also find it by going to Whatnot Publishing's area of the Previews guide. But the best way you can do it, and this is like my main recommendation, go to Google, look up your nearest LCS, give them a call. If you haven't gone there before, this is a great opportunity to go to your LCS to get an LCS, like support your local comic shops. And yeah,
Ask them about Crashdown, and then hopefully they'll order it for you. And then when you walk out, they'll be like, "Oh, that Crashdown book sounds pretty cool. I better order like 100 more of them."
yeah. Ooh, there's a 1 in 100 Javon Jordan variant. That's
Yeah,
pretty
true.
cool. That's kind of how it goes. But we wrote a book that it's a short 3 issues, and there's a part of that that's kind of like paying tribute low key to 30 Days a Night, which is also 3 issues, because I think there's like something really powerful. It Eats What Feeds It is also 3 issues, just like a really
Go read that book, by the way, if you've never heard of it. It Eats What Feeds It. Really
definitely.
cool little horror comic.
And we wanted to see like how we can play around with like a little over 60 pages. Like, it's not very long. There's more coming, but as far as the first arc, it is only 3 issues, and we're gonna we've described it as like a Alien meets Lost. There's body horror. There's but there's also sci-fi. There's like the sci-fi stuff that makes you feel uneasy. I wanted to make sure that was threaded throughout the issue.
One of my
throughout the
favorite
issues.
things
So,
about the movie The Mist, which is one of my favorite horror movies, is what people do when they are crammed together in a really tight space with a bunch of scary stuff happening all around them.
yes.
And I wanted to make sure that was in Crashdown as well. So you can expect some of those vibes too.
In like different parts and more than you would think. So we actually only get to follow like the first couple days of their descent to this planet and arrival, because they will crash down. But it's gonna be a very, very quick experience, and all wrapped up in 3 issues that you can order right now.
That's
Nice.
awesome. Well, guys, I know you said you had about an hour. Do you guys have to get going? Should we wrap it up, or do we have a little more time? What do you guys? What did you guys' night look like?
If you have some more questions, we have a little more time. And shout out to Bunkmaster. He said, "Eats what feeds it." Is it available now from Scout Comics?
And that's the one. That's it.
That's the 3 issues. You're right. And you can actually get. I don't have Eats What Feeds It example. I have a recount example, but they also have. This is a
cool idea for you.
It's not my product here, but it's these are really cool for readers. They sell these at a lot of comic stores. They're called comic tags, and it's like a collectible card, like whatever. But like on the back, there's a SKU. You can go to the website, put that number in, and then you download an entire PDF to your phone. And they have an Eats What Feeds It one too. So it's like, so you don't have to buy a $15, $20 graphic novel. They sell these for $7. You get a whole graphic novel, and yeah, they're like collectible and they're cool. But like you get a whole graphic novel on your phone.
That's
awesome.
Pretty cool.
I
I didn't know that. Yeah. Huh. That's new to me.
I feel like that's always been something that I've had a gripe with, and I get why they don't. But like, if I'm buying like a $100 collected edition, like I wish I could get the digital copy for free, like you do with a movie. Not. But I get why they don't do that, because people could probably share that or whatever. But
they literally do it in comic books. They should do it in Omnis. It's kind of silly they don't.
I was really happy when DC Ultra finally. So that's like DC's subscription service, but it's their higher tier one. They finally added graphic novels on there, so now you can read things in their correct reading order and things like that. But it's just like, I don't get why you don't get a digital copy. I'll give them as much money as possible, but I can't really bring an omnibus to work. I could sneak reading a comic on my iPad at work, but I can't really pull out an absolute.
I'm a fan of comicsology, man. You just log in.
So are there plans to expand Crashdown after the 3 issues if everything, when everything goes well? Or are we not allowed to say yet?
Do we have things in mind?
We already have a one-shot coming.
Correct. Yeah. We've been told that because we have the overall premise of doing this in like 3-issue arcs is very attractive to us. Assuming that it goes well this first round.
Sure.
But we also have this idea to do like a one-shot to accompany it after the release that will provide maybe a little bit different. I don't even get into it, but we have some cool ideas about the one-shot. And yeah, throughout this process too, we've come up with so many different ideas that we for sure have more to do. Ideally, there'll be more volumes. Yes. Go order it though. Like if you don't order it, there won't be more volumes.
Sure. If it's the
Exactly.
worst comic
You gotta
ever.
order it.
Jordan, so you're gonna go to your LCS, right? And you're gonna give them this code.
Yeah. May 23, 21, 43.
Or you could just say Crashdown. That's easier to
Crashdown.
remember.
I think Crashdown's a lot easier to remember.
I don't even know our order number code thing.
Jordan, what cover are you gonna get? Are you gonna get this one? This one?
Wow, hey, someone went the extra mile. I like that one.
There's actually a 4th one too that we just dropped a video of on Instagram. It's Johnny Desjardins cover, and yeah, it's an open order. There's also open order as well.
Oh yeah, Johnny. For some reason, I thought you said Javon.
No, Javon's is a
That's a ratio.
It's a ratio of 1 in 100.
Did you guys see Tom King's April Fool's Day cover?
No,
he drew something, right? Didn't he draw?
So let me grab one really fast. So this is like the first single issue a book I bought in forever. Tom King's my favorite writer, but for April Fools, they let him do a cover on 3 of his books. So maybe we can get an April Fool's cover drawn by you guys someday.
Just
Let me
Tom.
show you what it looks like.
Just Tom.
Hopefully not me.
Dude, my art is stick figures at best.
Yeah, same. I don't even want to. I don't want to draw.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh, that's actually really cool. See, I want that. Tom King's so dope.
Shout out
I
for
got
liking Tom King too, by the way. He gets too much hate.
He's my favorite. I actually just got to meet him for the first time, him and Mitch at WonderCon. So
Nice.
It was like a dream come true, because Superman Up in the Sky is my favorite Superman book of all time. It's one of my favorite comics of all time. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, Superman Up in the Sky, his Batman run I love, like Mr.
I
Miracle.
really like
All
his
of his
Batman
books are
run.
amazing.
Retrospect too.
I even really like Heroes in Crisis, and that's the one people hate on.
Ooh, okay, so I like the art.
Nope. I get you. Yeah.
I guess
I think it's a good book.
I wish it could have been a deep look on mental illness with people working in like like the service or in something like what they're doing, but it became like a murder mystery. And I feel like, I don't know if that's what he originally planned or if editorial had some impact on it.
Fair.
But, I think this is my favorite though. They signed my Batman Deluxe #1. So I got Mitch and Tom to sign it. So this is my favorite.
Jake loves to flaunt that every opportunity he gets. Sometimes it's
Way
not even
more
part of the
than my
conversation.
organic price books code,
Well done.
Um,
Tom King's Rorschach doesn't get enough credit either. That's another really good book.
I actually haven't read it yet. I have the trade, I think, or the hardcover, but I haven't gotten through that one yet. Strange Adventures was also fantastic. So Tom King is awesome.
Book My Speech said Sheriff of Babylon is also a Tom King must read. I haven't read
that one yet.
Yeah, I haven't read it, so we're taking down his opinion. But hey, if you haven't seen, go check out Bunkmaster's YouTube channel, where he'll post 2 videos next week instead of 1 this week. I was sorely disappointed that I didn't get a Bunkmaster video this week. But
he called me today on my drive home because he's friends with Ben Templesmith, or like and he gave me some advice because I actually I'm not too familiar with his art, so he gave me some fun knowledge and history on Ben. I thought that was helpful.
Yeah, he was one of the first artists to incorporate like mixed media in his art. If you actually read through like 30 Days a Night, which was like one of his earliest things he got published, he also did some Spawn too, but before that. But he was like layering photos in post after he painted stuff. And that's actually what's really cool about Ben's art, is that there are renditions of the art. And we've actually leveraged that with some of our variant covers, because his process is he'll do like, on canvas painted cover. And then he'll take that HD shot of that, bring it to Photoshop, and then layer covers, additional colors over it, and gives it this like totally unique vibe. And there's like panels in 30 Days a Night where you can kind of look at it and you're like, God, that looks like almost like a real human face amongst all this art. It's because like he's like, oh no, that's like a real human face. Like I like,
wait, a photo of a human face, right?
Yeah, like he'll distort it and draw over it, and it's like so there's
face.
like little pieces of real in an overall like Photoshop painted cover. So there's all these like there's layers to it. And when I first did cover with him, I'm like, yo, he's like showing me the painted cover. He's like, all right, it's only half done. I got to do the colors now. I'm like, well, I want to print that painted cover too. So we have a bunch of variants where it's like we have a painted cover and then a the final cover. But he's like one of the first artists to like really leverage Photoshop like that. Like mixed media is what they call that.
Awesome,
man. New every day.
So how do I get my copy of Crashdown signed by you guys?
Ooh, any convention.
Any convention? You guys go to those at all?
Yeah, we'll be at San Diego together, and ideally New York as well. And then obviously anytime I'm at a convention, which I do a lot more than Ryan does, I'm always happy to sign. I don't charge for stuff like that. Excuse me.
Charge Jordan though. Give me mine for free, but charge Jordan.
Whoa.
All right. Well, he's got the big bucks, so we can do that.
That's it.
I can pretend.
Also, we'll definitely be ordering ample copies for our website. So if anybody doesn't want to wait, we're definitely going to make sure that we can offer it in the different channels that we have available to people.
That's awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you guys had fun. It was a blast. We got our dream of finally having comic book writers on our show, which you guys are.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Yeah, that means a lot. It only gets better from here. But it really means a lot that you took the time. We put a lot of energy into this, into the comics. So I do appreciate you guys both ordering it. It's really cool.
Well, no. I ordered it. I don't know about Jordan yet.
Well, he said he's going to.
I'm all about supporting my local comic book shop.
Yeah. I saw you order the Vampirella cover during the stream with Chris.
Yeah. So I think that's how we should end it. Jordan, you should order it right now.
Yeah, la fregada.
Okay, previews.
Pull up your pull box. It's May 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever the stupid number is.
And Jordan, if you want, the link to previews is in the description below.
I already clicked the description. I'm on it right now.
So yes, there will be exclusive covers as well. I'll be. Yeah, that's my book. Our book. Excuse me. So
Thank you. Yeah.
So yeah.
By the way, it's not your book anymore.
Yeah.
I say the same thing about our channel. I'll say this is my channel. He'll be like, "What?" I'm like, "Our channel."
Exactly.
But yeah, we'll have like variants and stuff that we'll make. We're gonna have a lot of fun with it.
I don't know.
You
what
ordering it,
cover I
Jordan?
want.
We can't leave until you.
He's
buy
looking
it.
for covers now. He's like, he's not
Share
sure.
your screen.
Here, can you
I wanna
share your screen? I made you an admin.
I want to see the
Oh,
other
I
cover.
Oh
can.
yeah. Show him the process.
Okay.
Yeah,
hold
show them
on.
how easy it is and walk.
I've
us
never
through it
seen
step by
anyone
step.
order our book.
You gotta like creep on somebody like
Present.
this.
Look at
Share
this.
screen.
This
Share.
is exciting. Comic Fam is going to
Where?
order our book, Crashdown. It's in previews right now. FOC
didn't
is
force
June
him to.
5th.
Share.
That
No.
hard.
Oh my
Am I
gosh,
on?
look at this.
Am I on?
Oh,
Okay.
those covers are cool.
Right?
I mean,
So-
how can you pick one? I mean,
so-
you got to get a couple.
I don't know if I want this cover or this cover.
All right,
I
so
haven't
those,
decided yet.
so the way that it works, the first 4 covers there, those are all open to order. So if you want to get those, they're $5 or $4 a piece.
They're all open to order, I thought.
No,
You
there's
don't put
a-
ratios and previews?
Wait, can we speculate on which cover you think is going to shoot up in value the most? So, Jordan.
Oh my gosh,
They're
we
all
don't
open
have
to
the
order.
incentives. Oh my bad.
You
Those are
can't-
all open to order covers.
Yeah, you can't order incentives on
Oh, I'm a
previews, but-
fool. Those are all open to order.
We
You
got
can go
plenty.
ham. Okay, so let's back it up.
You
We
can
got-
go ham.
Yeah. Okay, so we got the Metroid Prime cover. That's what that
Yes,
crash, the one on the
this-
far right.
Yeah.
That's done by Michael Calero. He's the editor of our book. So I thought it would be really cool that he, for him to contribute some art. So because he's not just an editor and a writer, he can draw like that. So that right there, if it looks familiar, is the cover on the NES cartridge of Metroid
Okay.
Prime.
Yo, Jordan,
Um,
throw one of those on for me. I'll Venmo you.
Okay, I'm on
um,
it.
And
I
then
think
you
I'm
also
gonna do-
have the bottom left, which you were interested in. I definitely
Yes.
recommend it because that cover is by Jim Mahfood.
Jim Mahfood. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh
Jim
yes, I
Mahfood.
see.
So he's a very it's a very different, distinct style of his. He's at so many conventions.
That
Amazing.
photo one
person.
looks so familiar. What? That's like a movie. Like
This
does it
is a
look like
movie
co-
poster.
Okay.
That's for Event Horizon.
That's right.
Yeah, there
Got
we
it,
go.
got
Thank
it,
you.
got it.
Yeah. So we have a movie poster homage event for Horizon,
Okay.
NES homage with Metroid Prime, and then the upside down version of cover A, which was a
Fierce internal debate on our end.
yeah. So we went with both. We thought it'd be kind of
Okay.
fun.
Yeah.
We did
I
it
need
more
to-
for us than everyone else, but it'll be
I need
probably
to-
lower print.
Stop screen.
Make an
so
account
I
and then buy 'em.
can actually yes. So I can. So I'm gonna order 3 covers because Jake wants 1.
Heck yeah.
So let me.
So I'll have the original cover. I'll have the Samus or the Metroid cover, and I'll have the blank or sorry, the sketch cover, the blank one.
Mm,
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna when I
My-
find
my
I'm gonna hunt you guys
screen's
down
not
at a
being shown,
at a convention. I'm gonna make you draw on my blank cover.
Let's do it.
Why-
We actually
I
got to
wanna-
work on remarks. That's something I want to.
I,
I want to
haven't even thought about that. Yeah, I
You
don't know.
need to. We're gonna have Johnny and Ben help us. We're gonna create a couple remarks.
Man.
You got to be able to do it. Ryan, your hand's gonna hurt. You have to. You have
Hand
to
always hurts.
exercise your hand by squeezing something a little small.
I don't know,
I mean,
whatever you
eventually
guys
it'll be
need.
like signing
Oh,
your name
geez.
though. Like I swear to God, Mitch had his eyes closed when he drew the Batman in my Batman book. He wasn't even looking. So
Oh, he should by now. You know.
yeah, he's drawn it once or twice.
okay.
Come on, Jordan. They gotta go. We gotta see this purchase.
dude. I'm here.
I trust that he's
sweating
gonna
trying
make
to-
it. You're
we have
good.
to
You
watch it,
can do
otherwise we can't confirm.
Yeah, Ryan. Like he
Yeah.
said, he's
Also,
checking his
Jordan
list
can't
twice.
Jordan can't do it unless you're watching.
Yeah.
Is that how it
That's
goes?
That's how that works.
He needs an audience to perform.
Yeah,
I
in
get
all
that.
aspects, and exactly how that means.
Ryan's a little
Okay,
bit like that.
Always.
He's like,
So
are you
I
watching me
want-
cook? I've been eating in days.
I want this. I want this one.
Tell me it's good.
Can you share your screen again, or you still have to be hidden?
I'm trying to figure out how to add the
Credit card info. Make sure
No,
you
it's,
put,
this is
put that
how
in
you
there.
accidentally dox yourself. You're okay, yo.
Yeah.
You're totally fine. We trust you that you're gonna order Crashdown by FOC June 5th.
Okay, there we go, guys. We'll let him go. And Jordan, we trust you to finish ordering it.
I'm doing it.
On our most recent
Thank you.
video,
Playing World of
this is the
Warcraft.
last story I'll say. But I wanted to like show people the pros and cons of the different websites to buy books from. So I ordered the same book from every website, and then I compared like the speed, the packaging,
Oh, cool. Good idea.
and I used a blur effect to hide all of our personal information. But I guess I messed up, and at one point I showed Jordan's address.
Oh, nice. So now we know. Now we know how to
Not
get
yours
there.
though.
Yeah, not mine. Mine was completely
You
hidden.
gotta
Oh,
be extra careful,
Dude,
but you know.
if you didn't notice, on the package Jake opened had his address, so it's on this video. So
You know what?
Oh,
I don't even
nice.
care. Joel had my addresses in the package. Guys, thank you for watching. Everyone, check out Tom and Ryan. Descriptions to their links are down below. You can find them on Whatnot. You can find them on YouTube. So many places, so many things. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Keep reading and stay brave.
Peace out, yo. Thank you for having us.